Yeah, check 1 2, check 1 2. Is this mic on? Is this mic on? Hey, listen, man, it's the one and only trendsetter DJ Sense, and you're listening to CockTales, dirty discussions with Kiki and Medinah Monroe. Yeah.
Today's cocktail is called Here, So Close to Cuba. You guys, my mom got me a Golden Girls cookbook and I've been running through it. They have tons of cocktail recipes, mocktail recipes, and cheesecake recipes. So if you're a Golden Girls fan like me, you'll love it. This is really just basically a mojito, but I did forget some things, so we're remixing it like I like to do. So what you're gonna need to make this cocktail is get about 16 fresh mint leaves. Make sure you clean them off, tear them from the stems. Then you're also going to need 2 sugar cubes, or if you can get some really finely ground white sugar, you'll need 4 teaspoons of that. You'll take 1 lime and cut it into 8 wedges, 3 ounces of a good quality white rum, and then you'll need club soda or sparkling water to finish it off. And don't forget your muddler like me, because I'm gonna use something else instead. So what you're gonna do, and this recipe will make 2 drinks, one for you and one for a gentleman caller. You're going to take a glass, or the shaker that I'm going to use right now, because our glasses are plastic, and we're going to put half of the mint leaves in there as we're about to muddle. We're going to add in the sugar cubes. So we'll put 2 in here. Okay, so we need 2 of those, and then we're gonna take 2 lime wedges and drop it in here as well. Now, you would want to have an actual muddler, but I don't. So I'm gonna use the back of this ice pick, and we're gonna make it do what it do. So you're just gonna wanna make sure that you crush everything up inside of here. You want the sugar to start to dissolve, the mint leaves to be in little pieces, and to kind of juice that lime. All of it's gonna work together to bring out that nice fresh smell of mint leaves, the sweetness of the sugar, and the little tang from the lime. Yeah, it's definitely be easier with a real muddler, but that's okay. Who y'all think decided to do this? A real bartender. All right, we're making some progress, It smells so good. All right, that's good enough. Now, what you're going to do is make sure that your sugar is dissolved. You don't want to have cubes floating around. I'm not waiting forever, so you might see a cube. You're going to take a glass, ideally a tall glass, but I'm going to use this one. And then we're going to stir in half the rum and then fill it up with ice. So we'll do 1.5 ounces of rum for one, but if you got somebody coming over, remember you'll need 3. This. Put some ice in here. Now, we are going to, if you was doing this right and not in plastic, this would already be in the glass with the limes and the mint leaves and the sugar and everything, but we've already established. Do as I say and not as I'm doing. Okay, I'm gonna give this a good mix. So I saw in the book, it says that if you have one of these spoons in your bar kit, it twirls like this because you're supposed to do like this. It will work in a glass and without jewelry on, but that's what you're supposed to do, and it's supposed to make it easier and not cause a mess. I'm not doing such a great example. Whatever. Okay, so we're done with that, and then we're gonna top it off with some sparkling water. I'm doing the strawberry hibiscus because, again, I'm addicted to it. Put that on top. And now we've got a Here, So Close to Cuba.
Welcome back to CockTales, you guys. I'm Kiki Said So.
And I am Medinah Monroe. Hey, y'all.
That's another week with just us. Don't you love it?
I really love the episodes where it's just us.
I like it a lot of times, too.
I like it, but sometimes there are moments where I'm like, I don't be thinking the people are going to like it, because sometimes we just be rambling, and I'm like, someone is going to fast forward this shit and be like, what the fuck are y'all talking about? Because it can go from like, we're just the whole time talking about a family reunion, or the whole time talking about ribs.
Just never know. Y'all, do y'all know Medinah stood me up
I
on
did-
our ribs date? She texted me at 8 a.m.
That is
and
not a
canceled.
stand-up is you don't show up and no one knows where you're at.
So we still have not eaten the ribs is the point of my story.
We still have not eaten the ribs. Y'all,
Well, she canceled.
Real estate is really kicking my ass, Kiki. Like
Is
things
it?
just be popping up and then I'm like planning around traffic, planning around people, planning around just everything. And it be changing up everything all the time. And it's a blessing. Thank you. But I didn't just stand you up,
I know you didn't. I just had to say something about it because we did
still
not
ain't
have
had Fox Bros.
I
ribs.
did though, because I still made it.
You did?
I did. You thought I was gonna wait on you?
What'd you eat?
When I tell y'all I love Fox Brothers, I love it. I eat the same thing I get every time. So this is my order. My cocktail order changes, but I always get for an
They
appetizer.
have alcohol?
Yes, it's like a full restaurant.
Okay.
And you don't have to eat like rib. Well, if you go with me, you do have to taste a rib, but you don't
Okay.
have to get like a rib plate.
Okay.
But they have other stuff. They even have salads. I don't know why you go to Fox Brothers and get a
I don't
salad.
know why you go to Fox
But they
Brothers
have
and
a
get
regular salad. You can get some barbecue on there. Anyway, I get the half and half. So it's an order of fried jalapeno slices, like the pickled jalapenos. They fry them and fried pickles. And then for my meal, I get the combo plate. And so it's ribs and brisket. I like to do half and half on my brisket too. Can y'all tell I'm very indecisive?
Or
so you can
hungry.
No, it's indecisive because I mean, I say that about the brisket because you could get a lean cut or you could get the fatty cut, but I like to get half and half. I don't eat all of this at once. I always take some to go, but I just want a nibble of everything. And then I get the Frito pie for a side and collard greens. I don't do dessert, and usually I do a cocktail. I don't think I had a cocktail this day. Or no, I had an espresso martini. It was like during their brunch.
Espresso martini at Fox Brothers. Wow.
What kind of place are you picturing?
I'm picturing like a long. All the tables are long with tin tops, like the tin tops, and it's like hay on the floor.
Oh heavens, no!
Not like a farm, but you know how sometimes in the country spots, and it's like almost like.
You're picturing like a true hole in the wall or like barbecue shack.
Yeah.
No.
Like maybe they would have a beer. I didn't know they have like cocktails.
They have a full bar.
Wow.
And they do like what is it? The Hatch Chili Festival. They do that at the work, or they did it at the Works. It used to be somewhere else, I think, but they did it at the Works. It was my birthday weekend actually, because we were gonna go when my dad and my sister were in town. But yeah, it's a little bigger than that.
I have no idea what Hatch chili is. However, I went to Chopped a few days ago.
It's a pepper.
Okay, I went to Chopped and they have a whole Hatch chili like menu. And I was like, I got a Hatch chili chicken Caesar salad. It was so good. It was like a little spicy Caesar salad situation. I said, it's good. I love a little Chopped.
But yeah, so I had that.
So now we just get to do it again. We get to replant it and eat ribs on another day. I'm nervous. Like, I'm just, first of all, we was going to be tired in the middle of the day eating it.
No, you don't have to eat your whole plate, Medinah. You just needed to try a bite of a rib.
Okay.
I was going to let you have one of mine. I knew you was going to order no plate of ribs.
Yeah. We still got to do it. Something came up and it wasn't supposed to come up and it did come up. But anyways, Kiki, how you been? What you been up to?
I have been doing well. I've just been working. I feel like I've been running on fumes, y'all. I think I'm pretty sure I shared that I've been on my walking pad working out.
Busting your head.
Well, I don't think I shared that I bust my head. That's what I'm about to say. I told you that.
Did.
I did.
When I was re-listening to the episode that came on a few weeks ago, you definitely said it. So I was like, so you've done it twice at this point. You said you tried to put it at the kitchen.
I tried to, because I was at somebody else's place. Now this one, I spilled my coffee. It almost spilled all over my computer. And this was just this week. And then it was all over the floor. And then I had just like mopped my floors the day before, so they were still pretty slick. I was slipping. I mean, it was just bad. My poor dog was just looking at me like, "Are you okay?" It was rough. And then what else is coming up? My trip is coming up.
Yay.
And then,
are you excited about your trip?
I am. I need to schedule a braid appointment.
Okay.
And just little things like that. I'm also excited about Chicago next month because I'll be speaking at the Podcast Evolutions Conference. And I'm excited to go. And then...
Wait, pause. What will you be speaking about?
I'm speaking about my session is on taking your show from being a podcast and turning it into a live experience and all that goes into that. Um, and I haven't worked out all of the details, and I don't want to go too deep into that, but it's a 30-minute session. All of the sessions are 30 minutes, and I'll just be kind of talking through that. There's a lot of people who are going who have been in the podcast industry for a long time, and then there's some newbies. So I want to mix up the information that I share, like no matter how large your show might be, there's a lot of things to consider. And I think that sometimes people underestimate the amount of work that goes into it, or they get scared and never do it because maybe they think it's way more. So I just want to kind of share that and some things that I've learned along the way in my own experience, and then just talking to other people, helping other people, and seeing other live events come to fruition, like things that I've done with the radio and stuff like that. There's something else. Oh, my family's coming to visit. So all 3 of my nieces are going to come out. I'm really excited. They haven't been to the place that I live now. And then my youngest niece, every time I see her, she's like trying to pack a bag and come back with me. And she's like, I want to go to your house. I want to go to your house. But I'm like, girl, I live all the way in Atlanta and you live in Texas. You cannot just come with me. I'm not just right up the street. So I'm excited to see them and my mom. And then that's all I can think of right now.
Are they staying with you when they come?
There's 5 people. That's too many. No. But, I will be seeing them, hanging out, and having a good time. They're going to come for President's Day weekend. I wanted to go out of town, but that just didn't quite work out. I ain't got the time. Yeah, don't have the time.
Yeah.
What have you been up to?
Working. You guys know I got my real estate license, and I have been working, and like now I'm in the momentum of it and like keeping the momentum. And so I'm working with a few new clients and really excited about it. Also, I have been really pouring into getting to know people that I said I wanted to get to know but never did. Like
you meet them.
Yeah. And then like you just, and it's not like a personal thing. It's just like, how sometimes you really connect with people and life just happens, and you might even forget what you saved them as in the phone. You know what I mean? You're just like, I don't even know. Even if I wanted to connect, I can't remember what was going on. So a friend of mine who goes to my church, she is so cool. Her name's Amanda. And she randomly invited me to she didn't even say what it was for real. It was just like, come to this tasting experience. And I was like, I'm trying to say yes more. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna go. Like the flyer was really cute. She said it was like a private experience and at her place. So I went. And it was a very like small group of people. And it was really fun because when everybody walked in the door, like one by one, she gave everybody these grand introductions. It
like
was
y'all were walking into a ball.
Yeah, like but it was so cool. And so like I met a lot of people. I met a professional golfer who was a Black woman. And it was just like everybody had a different title. We tasted different olive oils from her friend who created it, she didn't create this olive oil, but she has this olive oil from Rome, and she lives in Rome. And it was just, when I tell you I had such a good random time, we had wine, we ate a lot of cheese. I really like cheese. Did I ever tell you that? Girl, I really love cheese. I really just love cheese.
Do you have a favorite type of cheese?
I love Gouda. I really love goat. And I like that goat that has the Merlot on top. You know which one I'm talking about? And it's, I love goat cheese. Oh, I love goat cheese. I love blue cheese. It's not a cheese I don't like. I don't really like Parmesan cheese.
Really?
Yeah. I don't really like Parmesan cheese, but all the other cheeses, if it's a cheese, I probably like it. So I've been, connecting with people. I started pole lessons. I'm really trying to get my body in a type of shape that I haven't really seen it before, and really just for health reasons. It was funny because I started working with a trainer I think the gym is called Fanoa. I don't know the name of it. Faneo.
Oh.
Faneo. Like one of my girlfriends one day, well, first of all, I was at her house one night and we were talking about a podcast that she wants to start. She was like, I want you to help me. I said, okay. Well, what are we doing? Like you just said, it's a lot of work, like consistency. What are you trying to do? So me, her, and the girl that she wants to do it with, we were talking, and we ended up talking about working out because they met. I was like, how did y'all meet? She's like, we met working out at the gym. So we're talking about the gym. She's been going to the gym for like a year straight. And she's like, come work out with us on Monday. I was like, bitch, I haven't worked out in a very long, I'm active, but like going to the gym intentionally, it has been a very long time since I've done that consistently. There was a time when I was doing it very consistently, like going to and I hate it. It's not, even when I was doing it then, I don't like going to the gym and working out. And it's not because I don't like working out. I don't like how the gym be feeling. So I was like, y'all, I'm gonna come. And I was really hyping everybody up. I was like, I'm going. And then Monday came and I set my alarm and I was like, I'm not going. And I laid in the bed. It was 6:45 and I was like, I'm really not going to go. And I was like, well, let me see how far the gym is. And I saw how far the gym was. And I was like, okay, I'm really not going. So then my girlfriend Chanel, she calls me and she's like, hey, why do you sound like you're still in the bed? I was like, I'm in the bed. I'm in the bed. She's like, what are you doing? I was like, talking to God. She was like, well, you need to stop and you need to come to the gym. And I was like, I'm not coming to the gym. Anyways, she made me feel like I needed to go to the gym. So I went to the gym. I was like, she was like, why are you not going to come? I was like, I just feel really embarrassed. I'm really out of shape. My knee is bad. I don't want to be in there with all the BBL girls and I'm looking crazy and everybody's doing their workouts and I'm over here struggling and shaking and I don't have no cute gym clothes. And she was like, get the fuck up and come on. So I got the fuck up and I went. And she was like, just come work out with me and my trainer in the small group. So I went. And Kiki, I worked out. After I worked out, the guy was talking to me about like the memberships and stuff. I ended up signing up for a membership and I have a trainer and I'm training 3 days a week. He asked me what were my goals. And this is the first time in my life I ever have said this to a trainer. He was looking at me crazy. That nigga was looking at me like, he was
What'd
like,
you say?
He was like, what are your goals? I was like, I don't have any goals. And he was like, what are your goals? When you're going to come here every week with me? I was like, well, my goals are just really mental. And he was like, well, what do you mean? I was like, I don't think you understand. His name was Vern. I was like, I don't think you understand, Vern. Like, this is why I hate the gym because I got to work at my pace. Like, me showing up, that was the first battle, first of all. Me showing up, I was not going to come. I was in the bed, rolled up back in the covers. Like, I really didn't have to start my day till 1 and it is 7 a.m. So that is just my goal. My goal is to just show up. When I start having like, I want to work on a certain thing, it just makes me feel stressed. So as long as I keep coming and showing up, please just let me have that goal. He was like, no, you need to have a goal. And I was like, oh, okay. So I'm thinking about what my body goal is going to be. Anyways, I also started these different series at I don't know, I guess it would be called a spa. It's called Slim Face Body Studio. And they do these treatments. They're called M-Sculpt. Have you ever heard of M-Sculpt? So it's like a body sculpting thing.
Okay.
And they hook you up to this technology and it basically strengthens your core. You can pick which body part you want them to work on. I chose my abdomen. And it doesn't necessarily make you lose weight, but it strengthens your core. I have a very hard time doing push-ups and I have a really hard time doing planks. Anything that has to do with my core, I just have a really hard time. So I'm trying it out. It's 4 series. I'll tell y'all how it works. Today was my first one. And bitch, they hook you up to this machine. They put it on your stomach or wherever you're going to do. And your whole body just like, it's like you're doing a plank, but you're not doing a plank, but your body is contracting. It's really cool. So,
How'd you find out about that?
The place that I went to get my face balancing, they offer it. And I started reading up about it. And when I started training, I said, I'm having a hard time with my core. Let me
get some extra help.
Let me get a little extra help and see if this actually works. Like, I'm like, okay, y'all. So pray for me. Pray that I continue going to this trainer and working out because I'm sitting here right now sore. I don't even have shoes on because my feet hurt.
Do you go see him at a certain time of day or just certain number of days in a week?
So I'm also working on being a 5 a.m. girl. So I'm going 3 days a week. And 2 days out of those 3 days, I go at 8 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And then one day I go at 7 a.m.
Okay, that's not too bad.
It's not too bad. He has a 6 a.m. I was like, I'm not ready for that yet. Let me get into the consistency. Then you have to
be up so much earlier if you're going to be at the 6 a.m. class. Yeah. Not like you wake up and you roll out and he's right there on your TV.
Yeah. My mom's coming to visit this weekend for her birthday, and I'm really excited about that. I'm taking her to get Botox. She doesn't know it's a surprise. She's never done it before.
Does she want to?
She definitely always, once she saw me do my face, she was like, I want to just try it. I was like, we're going to try it just a little bit. I'm taking her to get her hair done. She's going to have a whole beauty experience.
Okay.
Sometimes moms.
That's a nice birthday.
Yeah. You know how like the youth, we have a different like standard for getting your makeup done. There's like just like beauty stuff. And sometimes I realize like, at least my mom, she hasn't experienced a lot of those things. I was the first person to take her to get her makeup professionally done like a while ago, but just stuff like that. She's not going to spend money on it. And I was like, you want a gift or do you want an experience? And she's like, I want an experience.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun.
That'll be nice. My mom is always so impatient with stuff like that. Like she likes getting her hair done. She likes doing the things, but she does not want to sit still. And I'm like, what is this about? Where are you in a rush to go? I don't know. It's almost like she thinks if she's not in constant motion, she'll just fall out or something. I don't know. But I do wish that she would take some time and slow down. I know it won't be happening next weekend when she gets here, but you know, whatever. I'll be happy to see her. We're going to go eat. Take the nieces out to do some things and figure out some stuff. Well, on that note, we're going to move on to weird sex.
You said a man is not a necessity, a man is a luxury.
Like dessert. Yeah. A man is absolutely not a necessity.
Did you mean that to sound mean and bitter?
Oh, not at all. I adore dessert. I love men. I think men are the coolest. But you don't really need them to live.
And this week, you guys, weird sex is actually not very weird, and it's being brought to you by Masterclass. So if you're not familiar with Masterclass is this amazing platform with so many different sessions. You might be interested in exploring more about pleasure, sex positions, sex tips, some confidence boosters, that sort of thing. A few years ago, you guys, we had a very wonderful guest, Shan Boudreaux, when we were out in LA. Beautiful episode, beautifully shot.
Beautiful person.
Yes.
She's so intelligent.
Yeah, she is. And so she is, she has a session on Masterclass, and it's the art of pleasure. It's 2 parts and exploring so many different things. If you guys aren't familiar with Masterclass, you should definitely check them out because they're going to give you more information about so many different things, not just pleasure, but so many other things. So if you guys are looking for some new things to try, I think for the next few weeks, I'll do that for weird sex, find some new pleasure-seeking things. And as I move through the sessions, the 2-part sessions, I will be sharing my learnings. Maybe I can even show you a few positions if it's not too crazy, because I would like something new. And the older I get, I find myself doing the same old. Yeah. Like when we were on Patreon and we did Patreon game night at the end of last month, and we were talking about favorite sex positions. And
Did you say missionary?
Yeah, that is one of my favorites.
I remember that being said.
Yeah, I love missionary.
Ain't nothing wrong with a little missionary, but Shan gonna teach you on Masterclass. She gonna teach you some other lessons that can maybe spice up a little missionary. But I also like that some of the lessons that she's teaching about the art of sex have to do with like, it'll make you confident. Just the whole confidence of sex. So
yeah, sometimes we don't want to initiate, or
you're scared to try something. Like there's so many.
You can
things.
be really timid, so that's good. And sometimes I be wanting to give like a sexy face, and I don't feel like I do. I haven't gotten through my lessons, so still don't have it. But holler at me in a few weeks.
Well, I can't really move my face, so I'm gonna have to learn the body language. Okay.
Anyway, if you guys are curious about trying it, make sure you click the link in the description box below, and we even have a special little promo for you. I love when I'm having real life situations happen and I get to talk about some of our sponsors and brand partners and stuff. So it's funny, today I was literally in a meeting and we were going over some production things, and I was talking to a producer and she was telling me about another show that she was working on. She's doing a dating show. One of the guys on the show was describing what he wants, and he didn't have the language to use to really describe it, but what we figured out, or what she figured out, was that he's actually poly. And she was asking him, hey, have you ever used the Field app? And I was like, oh my God, we work with Field. And we were talking about it, and she's like, yeah, I put him onto the Field app. He lives in a city where it's popular, but he travels other places. And I know that as people continue to learn about the Field app, there's going to be more and more people. There's so many people out there who don't know that there's like a name for how they see relationships or maybe a name for their sexuality. Or even if you don't care about names, you can share your interests. The Field app is where it's at. You can find other people, you can learn more things, and you can realize that maybe you're not so alone in what you want. And then you can get to it, meet your people. The internet makes things so much easier, and Field is like such an open community to do that, and I love it.
And it's really open. I really appreciate how the Field app has an environment or a community of people who really believe in honesty and openness. So the things that you like or the things that you might be interested in, listen, you're meeting people that are open to conversation about that. They're being honest about like what they want to try. But it's not just about sex and dating. You might make a friend. It's open to friendships. I also like how it's not just mindless swiping. If you swipe past somebody and you're like, dang, I was swiping too quickly, you can go back. It's not like,
sometimes it's like hypnotic.
Yeah, you go back and it's just like, it's a really great community. And I really do feel like 2025, this year for me has personally been about all different types of communities. Like community is so important. Community for all the different types of categories in your life. And Field is an amazing opportunity for that.
It is. So if you would like to check out Field, we really hope that you do. You can head on over to the App Store or the Google Play Store and just download the Field app. Field is FEELD. Download the Field app and meet your people. All right, you guys. So this week we were supposed to do it another time, didn't work out, but we're here today. So Medinah and I were talking one day and we were talking about how we use AI for so much stuff and just like everybody is. And I saw something like on TikTok or Instagram, and this girl, she constantly tells ChatGPT what's going on in her life, right? And talks to her ChatGPT about all of the different men, her dating life, and all of this stuff. So she was asking ChatGPT like where she should go to find a certain type of guy and all of this stuff. And the answers that were given were really good. So I figured we could try out. And I just want to add in,
I've never used AI for something like that. So I thought even doing this and putting this episode together, this was hilarious because I personally have never been like, can you show me where to find the guys? It's a great idea though. I just never thought about that. I was like, how would she know? She knows. Kind of.
So much. So we're going to tell you guys what we're going to ask. And then we'll share the response. And y'all just drop us a comment or something and let us know if you thought that was a good response or what you got to say about it. Just
or if you're going to use this response. Because some of them, I was like, okay, girl. Okay, so I'll go first.
Okay.
I asked my ChatGPT. She doesn't have a name. I said, I want to ask my boyfriend why he wants me to pay for things when he is the man. Can you tell me how to ask him in a respectful way? That's what I asked her.
Okay.
She said, hey.
Oh, you already typed him in.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well,
I was going to give I wanted her to build off of the things, but go ahead.
Oh, yeah, mine built, baby. I was like, I didn't know if the Wi-Fi was going to be working and if we was going to have access to it. So, yeah, mine are already responded to.
Okay.
So my AI said, hey, boyfriend's name. What should I guess we can name boyfriend Aaron. Hey, Aaron, I've been thinking about something and I wanted to share my thoughts and hear your perspective. I really value the dynamic we have and the way we support each other. But I've noticed that you've asked me to contribute financially in ways that feel different from what I've experienced before. Not she experienced this before. Can you help me understand your reasoning behind that? I'd love to have an open conversation about how we view roles and responsibilities in our relationship that we're on the same page moving forward. And she said, this approach opens the door to honest communication while showing you're willing to understand his perspective without being confrontational. That was a very grown-up way to have that.
That was a very wordy way to have that. I probably wouldn't say it.
What would you say?
I don't know, but I probably would have asked my thing to make it less wordy, because whenever I was creating the scenarios and prompts, I did type in some, but I was like, girl, I don't want to say all these words. We need to get to the point. I'm not sending an email. I'm having a conversation. Would you say that?
I would say some of this. I definitely would say some of this. Not this whole paragraph, but I like, she made it respectful.
Her point was right.
Like, it was like, if you really did like regurgitate this, shorten it to somebody, they wouldn't feel attacked. I hope not. Like, this isn't attacking. This is really just like, bro, I'm making sure we on the same page.
Yeah. Okay. So here's my situation. So it's, this was the prompt or the situation I want to give you before I tell you the question that I'm going to ask. So, okay. So imagine you've been hinting at Valentine's Day plans for weeks and weeks and weeks, right? And then he keeps saying, don't worry, I got it covered. And it's February 13th and he don't have it covered. And the only reservation he's made is on your last nerve, right? So the question that I'm asking is, how do I politely tell him that spontaneous romance isn't romantic when you're waiting an hour for a table at Applebee's on Valentine's Day? Because that's not where I want to be, right? And if you wait until the last minute, it's very unlikely for you to get a good reservation. You'll be waiting. So she says, first she gave me a long response and I said, can you make it more conversational and shorter? She says, I love that you want to handle Valentine's Day, but waiting an hour for a table in my good heels isn't giving romance. Next time, can we plan ahead just a little? Yeah, I would say that. I would probably copy and
Would you still go?
To Applebee's or just out?
Whatever the...
Not to Applebee's, but to somewhere else, yes.
Okay.
I would still go. I'm still going to want to eat. As long as it's food, I'm still going to want to go. But I will feel... like, why didn't you make a plan in advance? A plan is not the day of.
And a plan is just not hard. It's not hard.
There's an app for that.
Okay. Well, I asked AI another question. I said, I want to ask my boyfriend to take me on vacation, but I'm scared. And I don't want him to know I'm scared to ask. I want to sound confident. Can you help me sound like a grown woman?
Why you say it like that? The grown woman?
And she said, here's a confident and grown woman way to ask. I've been thinking about how much we both deserve a break and some quality time together. How about we plan a vacation? I'd love for us to get away, relax, and make some amazing memories. What do you think? I thought I actually would. It's perfect because it starts the conversation and then you can figure out, and then the details will obviously
in the conversation.
Right.
Yeah, that was a good response.
That was a good
you
one.
You should give it a thumbs up.
She said, we need a break, baby. Where we going?
Okay, so this next one. So here's the scenario. You've been vibing with this man you care about. And while you don't really care about titles, you find yourself low-key stressing anytime somebody asks, so what are y'all? Instead of just brushing it off, you started awkwardly rambling and over-explaining your single but not single status to people who didn't even need all that information. So the question is, how do I stop over-explaining my situationship, relationship, whatever it is, to people without sounding like I'm trying to convince myself that I'm fine with it? I named my ChatGPT. Her name is Cece. So Cece says, keep it simple and confident. Next time somebody asks, just say, we're enjoying each other and seeing where it goes. If they press, hit them with a smile and it works for us. And that's what matters. No need to over-explain. Let them wonder. Sounds just like me. I be talking to her a lot.
Yeah. Wow, she's really taking on you.
I need her to think like me so she can write these messages like me. It's helpful.
Okay. We got different types of questions. Here's my third one. I want to let my boyfriend know that I need help paying my mortgage this month, but I don't want to sound broke. Could you help me come up with an appropriate way to ask and get a yes to the answer? Key. That's a key part. She said,
you need to get that yes.
You need to get that yes. Like, don't make this an option. Y'all gonna thank me for this. She said, I wanted to talk to you about something. I've been navigating. Oh, sorry. I want to talk to you about something I've been navigating this month. When people use the word navigating, you just sound like you know more. Things are a bit tighter than usual with my finances. And I'd really appreciate your help covering part of my mortgage this month. I always strive to handle things on my own, but this time I could use your support, and it would mean so much to me. Let me know how you feel about that. She really does a good job of making sure she's not just like, I deserve this. You not paying no bill. Like, she knows how to stroke the man's ego almost. That's wild.
These tools are very, very good. Especially the more you use them, tweak them, all of that. Yeah, I don't be using it for life advice, but this is kind of fun. Okay, so this one, here's a scenario. Your friend suspects her man is cheating. So naturally, she calls you, i.e. me, for backup, right? That is what really happens. I'm on board, but when I start investigating, I find out, oh, wait a minute. I typed this wrong. Well, anyway, your friend suspects her man is cheating, so naturally she calls you for backup. You're on board, but when you start investigating, you find out your man might also be at the same place her man is creeping. So my question that I'm asking my girl Cece, aka ChatGPT, how do I help my friend catch her man and figure out if mine is guilty too without setting the whole situation on fire, or do I just bring the matches and let it burn? Now, I just want to say this. When I was initially coming up with these questions, she was on a roll because I was like, can you give me some different scenarios? And so I typed some up and sent them, and I don't remember reading that she said I was going to bring matches, but that was probably my mood for the day. Anyway, Cece says, you need strategy, not chaos, at least at first. Tell your friend, girl, let's focus on your situation first. But if my man happens to be in the mix, I'm taking notes too. No need to set it on fire yet. Gather receipts calmly. Oh, she's giving instruction. This isn't what to say. Well, she said to say that, but then it says, gather receipts calmly, observe, and if both men are guilty, then you can decide if it's time for a double feature or waiting to exhale. This is my friend right here. My ChatGPT is whack. Because why would she reference waiting to exhale? I love that for me.
Okay.
This girl wet. But yes, good job.
Okay. My next question to her was, this is also about cheating.
Okay. Oh, look at that.
Look at that. I want to ask my boyfriend if he is cheating on me. And I know he is because I went through his phone.
Ooh.
But I don't want him to know I went through his phone. She said this is a delicate situation. And
right.
approaching it calmly and thoughtfully will help you maintain control of the conversation. She said, this is what you should say. I've been feeling like there's been some distance between us lately, and I wanted to check in. Is there anything going on that we need to talk about? I value honesty in our relationship, and if there's something I should know, I'd rather hear it from you directly. She's a grown-up, and she is a grown-up. She doesn't plan on smacking nobody, ruining someone's belongings. Like, she's like, this is how we get to this.
Would you use that?
I would use a piece of this.
A piece. Mm-hmm.
Just a piece. Mm-hmm. Just a piece.
Yeah, that's like something on a TV show or movie or something. But in real life, I think it would be hard to stay that calm.
But I do think that last line, I would rather hear it from you directly. That's always good to use because then that lets the person know, I already know. Mm-hmm. I already know what the fuck going on. Mm-hmm. But I would like to hear it from you.
And then their wheels are going to be spinning like, did you go through my stuff or did somebody tell you? Did you see something? Mm-hmm. Like, how much do you really know? Or are you bluffing?
Right.
And you just never know. But if you're guilty, you're always going to feel guilty because you know you've been up to no good. Mm-hmm. And then she's watching the beads of sweat roll down your face. So you're caught.
Yeah.
Okay. This one says, okay. So this guy that you're seeing, he casually mentions that his child's mom invited him to dinner to co-parent better. You're trying to stay cool, but your imagination is running wild. So the question that I'm asking Cece is, this is not me, but if it was, how do I let him know I'm totally fine with their dinner, but also make it clear I've already Google mapped the restaurant and know what time he left. So like, don't be up to no funny business. So Cece says, you can try something playful but direct and say, I love that y'all are working on co-parenting and I totally support it. Just know that while you're at dinner, I'll definitely not be casually checking the restaurant's Google reviews or noting what time you left. Nope, not me. Yeah, that's a little too crazy for me. I wouldn't be doing all that.
Wait, what did she say?
She was saying, this is what she's saying that I should say. I love that y'all are working on co-parenting and I totally support it. Just know that while you're at dinner, I'll definitely not be casually checking the restaurant's Google reviews or noting what time you left. Nope, not me. Like, I'm not going to be internet stalking you, basically.
Yeah, she messed up on that. You're not going, or I'm coming with you. I'm so confused. But what?
Well, I wouldn't want to go.
I'm gonna go. Like if this is like a blended fam. Are we married? Like,
well, we're not married. This is somebody that I think I said that I'm dating. It's not a husband.
I'm just not sure why you need to go to dinner, but that's not.
I would wonder, like, why do y'all need to go to dinner? Are y'all all going with the kid or like what? I don't know. Like, that would be weird to me.
Let me tell you something that a friend of mine told me, and I've never heard it put like this. A friend of mine who has a child with a man was like, just don't do it. She was like, I literally just stopped having sex with my baby daddy 3 years ago. Mm-hmm. This man has had relationships. And she was like, yeah, when we don't have people to have sex, like the baby mama or the baby daddy is always going to have access. And I was just sitting there looking, this is why I don't date niggas with kids, because that is absolutely wild. And she was like, yeah, nobody will know, because it's like, we need to talk about the kids.
A lot of people say that.
Have you lost your mind? No. So no dinner or we're just done. Okay, this is my last question. I want to ask my boyfriend if he sees himself marrying me. Could you help me come up with a way to ask without sounding insecure? She said, here's a confident and mature way to ask. I've been thinking a lot about our relationship and how much I value what we're building together. I'm curious. I'm curious to know. Do you see us heading towards marriage in the future? I want to make sure we're on the same page about where we're going and what we both envision for our lives together.
Okay.
Somebody gonna be crying. That's a rough conversation if you gotta bring it to that.
Yeah, like
that's a rough one. That's a rough one because I don't want that to be how a proposal is born.
Yeah, I think it's tough to bring up, oh, well, what are you thinking about this long term? Do you see me as your wife and all of this? Because, you would hope that the other person would have told you already. You're not having to pry it out. You would hope.
But communication.
But nothing wrong with trying to figure things out if you are unclear, because some people do think that they can just show you, or they think that certain things mean this to you, and they may not. And it's just best to be clear. I wonder how that would go.
Okay, that was my last one.
Okay, this is my last one. It says, so here's the situation. The guy, this one's kind of like a proposal one too. That's funny how that worked out. So it says he's been acting mysterious. So you start to think that he's planning a proposal. And then he surprises you with a trip to an exotic location. And so, you're getting even more excited. But it's just for his friend's birthday. So what ended up happening was the friend's fiance was not okay with the fiance going on just a guy's trip for his birthday. So she made him turn it into a couple's trip. And that's how it became a surprise to you, because really it was a last minute invite because it was supposed to be all boys and his fiance vetoed that. So the question is, and then you were thinking he was about to get proposed to. You probably called your family and your friends. Lord. Okay, so the question to AI is, how do I tell him I'm offended that he let me think this was a romantic surprise, only to find out it's basically a tag-along trip for his friend's birthday? And also, where's my proposal energy? Now, I would ask the first part. I would not be asking about the proposal, but this is Cece's response. She says, hit him with, and that's literally what she wrote, hit him with, Hit him with, I appreciate the trip, but let's be real. I thought this was a romantic surprise you planned for us, not a +1 situation for your friend's birthday. I'm happy to go, but next time, let's not blur the lines between special for us and group trip with benefits. Also, if you ever do plan a surprise just for me, make sure it gives proposal energy, not party guest. Keep it honest, direct, and lets him know you expect more intentionality.
But he wasn't planning on proposing.
She just thought he was because of all the stuff leading up. It's just a fake scenario.
Yeah.
She just thought that. So if I was in this situation, I would not add in that last part about the proposal. But yeah, don't let me think that you're planning a romantic trip for us and really is for your homeboy's birthday. And you wanted to have somebody there with you too, because all the boys have to bring a girl because the fiance was not going to be okay with it and she's going to be there too.
That's wild. All right. Well, you guys, before we move on to Indecisive Diane, I want to remind everybody to go to paradiseandvibe.com. Come with us to Sedona, Arizona, August 24th through the 27th. The theme was enchantment, but now since we finally booked an amazing guest, I can't tell you yet, but Kiki, I can't wait to tell you who this is. Now the theme is the magic of big thinking. So I would love for you guys to join me in Sedona, Arizona. Normally we're international with it, and normally we have several trips a year, but this year we only have one, and it is stateside. So go to paradiseandvibe.com and tell them I sent you.
Well, that's exciting. I wonder who it is.
I love a little travel.
Mm-hmm.
I love a little travel situation. Even if nobody special is ever coming, I'm still going to travel. I'm going to Spain too. I can't wait to go to Spain and just be an attendee. Like, it's not work. It's like I just get to go. And
When are you going to Spain?
June.
That's exciting. What part?
Barcelona.
Okay.
Barcelona. I'm very excited. I'm going with the self-care retreat. We had Shanisha Boswell on. That's her retreat. And I was like, friend, I'm coming to support you. So if y'all can't come to have you, by the time this comes out, has your trip already happened?
No, my trip is not until March. This one comes out the week after Valentine's Day.
So y'all have a selection of places to go this year.
All right. Well, I guess we can move on to Indecisive Diane. And when we come back, it'll be time for the advice. All right, you guys, and Medina, I want to tell you about something. So, we were talking about me getting my groove back and something that I never really felt super confident in is being really sexy. And that's something that I really want to work on. Just like feeling like I'm not trying too hard. I'm already clumsy. It's just, I don't know, it's a lot and I'm in my head about it. And so it can be kind of awkward talking to people about it because it's kind of like either you got it or you don't, or people don't really know how to coach you through that sort of thing. And then guess what I found out?
Tell us.
Our good sis, Shan Boudrum, has a class on Masterclass right now, and it's the art of pleasure, and it teaches so many different things about it. It's a 2-part thing. I'm excited about it.
When I tell you, I am excited about it also, Kiki. First of all, if y'all don't know, Shan is referred to the internet's most famous sexologist. She has built a dynamic career through her approachable, science-backed advice on love, sex, and relationships with a master's degree in sexology. So you guys, you want to be taught by somebody who really knows what they're talking about, right?
Exactly. So Shan and this session with Masterclass is really, really informative, but it's not too like stuffy. So it's a 2-part thing, and we're gonna learn about different sex tips, positions, confidence, so many different things. And if you're not familiar with Masterclass is available. You can go on the website, you can go to it on your phone, the computer, a tablet, whatever. Masterclass offers over 200 of the world's best instructors.
200?
And then for just $10 a month, which is billed annually, you'll get a membership with Masterclass that gets you unlimited access to every instructor. So you get that annual membership if you made a promise to yourself that you were going to learn or you were going to do something different this year. Masterclass might be the option for you.
And did you say $10 a month?
Yeah, it's $10 a month, but it's billed annually. So you pay and you don't have to think about it again. You're good for the year.
Well, you guys, this class will be available exclusively on Masterclass starting February 11th, just in time for Valentine's Day. Right now, our listeners get an additional 15% off any annual membership at masterclass.com/cocktails. That's 15% off at masterclass.com/cocktails. Masterclass.com/cocktails.
And now we'll get back to the show.
Would you stop thinking about what everyone wants? Stop thinking about what I want, what he wants, what your parents want. What do you want? What do you want?
It's not that simple.
What do you want? What do you want?
Hey ladies, it's me, Diane, and this week's date idea is perfect for the girls. Or if you have a daughter and you want to have a mommy and me date. Have you guys heard of the Tea Around Town Atlanta T-Bus party? Oh my God. It looks incredibly fun. I'm actually going this weekend, so I'll tell you about it. Google Tea Around Town's Atlanta. Book your service now. Bye.
You guys, and we are back from Indecisive Diane, and it is time for the advice. And this advice segment is being brought to you by Field. We want to remind you guys that if you are curious, if you're looking for someone, if you're looking for some people, there are so many options out there available on the Field app. It's FEELD. You need to get it, download it now in the App Store, or you can get it in the Google Play Store.
Okay, so first up we have, my man read my journal and now he hurt. Hey ladies, of course I have to start by saying I love the show. I watch from my smart TV, so it don't be easy to comment, but I do thumbs up and like it from my remote. Enough of that. Let me get to it. So I am a 34-year-old female who has been in this on and off 11-year relationship with this 34-year-old man. Do not eat me up, I know. But this guy has me in his grip, and other men seem to hate me. He just seems to hate me a little less. Oh. Anyhow, we decided to get back on and be determined to make things work after a 6-month breakup. After a 6-month breakup, I initiated because I want marriage and he wants to do everything but that. You need to ask ChatGPT how to. Okay, during this rekindling, things have been relatively smooth. We have been talking about family planning, buying a house, and even marriage. However, he has been acting insecure, i.e. nitpicking, overanalyzing, constantly bringing up areas where I need to improve, and doesn't want me to go out. And as a good long-term girlfriend, I have been constantly trying to reassure him, making conscious efforts to ensure he feels supported and his needs are being met. I admit it is exhausting, but I'm working with my man. Recently, a week before Christmas, he confesses that he had read my journal. He says by accident, but come on now. And stumbled on a page where I wrote about our first breakup and how I felt like I truly didn't love him because I was dealing with a breakup from a prior relationship. Of course he was upset, but nigga, you read my fucking journal. He then proceeds to tell me how enlightened he was, and it made me appear human. So what the fuck did you think I was? Oh, he also said there was some other cool stuff in there which inspired him to write things down for himself. In my mind, I'm thinking, so you kept reading it? I feel so violated, unsafe, and just disgusted. I ended the conversation by asking him, so what now? He responded, I love you. I sat on the phone quietly, sobbing before I hung up. Fast forward, I ain't heard from him for 2 weeks. Christmas passed, New Year's passed, and I ain't even get a text. It's a day after New Year's Day, and he hasn't made any attempt to communicate with me. I decided to give him a call because honestly, it's time. And he was acting, I'm surprised that you did that. No, I'm not. And he was acting very disinterested. I asked if he was busy. He stated he was off from work playing chess and that I should say what I needed to say. I was very turned off by this. He seems like he is indifferent. I told him to give me a call when he is in better spirits. He agreed, but I don't understand why he is acting like this. We're planning a Japan trip, which I pay for the flight. So I also presumed he would want to resolve this, especially since this is his dream trip. I just don't feel safe with him anymore, and I don't know if this is something I should pursue. So much trust has been lost, not just from this incident, but others. And I don't know if there's a foundation we can build on. I don't know how to move forward or if this is going to be a huge hurdle we must endure. Any sound advice? I asked Reddit and someone told me I should cancel the flight. It's non-refundable, by the way. I'm way too mature to be crashing out. But after this, I want this man in hell. Also, I didn't use ChatGPT, but I did proofread it. Her this email. I apologize for the run-ons. It's okay, girl. You was just getting your feelings out. That was a lot. I guess you're not as mad about him going through your journal as I initially thought you were when you were talking about it, because you're also kind of like,
it's not a deal breaker.
It wasn't a deal breaker, and it didn't seem like you brought up your thoughts around him doing that, which I don't really know what to say, because that is a very invasive thing to do. I've done it before, and but it was a very intense conversation that was had around it. It wasn't just like you bring it up and then we're on the phone and then nobody. I don't know, girl. That's a lot when you do. That's a lot that he did that, and if you really feel a way, I think you maybe need to let him know. But it's a lot. You talking about. You basically trying to beg him back to be with you. You maybe just need to let him go. Maybe, but I don't know anything. So.
Okay. Well, I would be bothered.
If you were her or him?
If I was her.
Okay.
I would be bothered if he read my journal. I think that it is so out of line. First of all, the line about he read it on accident or whatever. Like, come on, you don't read that on accident. I could see you looking for a notebook, for a piece of paper. You open it up, you read a line, but you don't keep going. You're not making notes for yourself and all of that. I don't like that. I have had situations where somebody has gone through like my phone or messages and things, and like that shit's not cool. And you do need to have an in-depth conversation. Now, you had a lot of things going on in here. You didn't ask ChatGPT, but I did. And let me tell you what my girl Cece said. First of all, she said, girl, woo, because that was a lot. She said, first of all, she's saying this like me. First of all, thank you for watching the show on your smart TV and hitting that like button. We appreciate you. She knows me, right? Okay, now let's talk about this man who is out here playing chess while treating your relationship like a game of Jenga. Pulling out blocks of trust and acting shocked when things feel unstable. Come on, ChatGPT.
That was a bar.
Okay, so let's start with the journal situation. You are absolutely right to feel violated. See, I said that. A journal is a safe space, a place where you process your rawest thoughts, and him reading it by accident, girl, please, that's her saying it, not me. Then continuing to read is a complete breach of trust. The fact that he ghosted you for 2 weeks after he invaded your privacy is actually insane. Instead of communicating like an adult, he withdrew, which tells me that he is either punishing you for what he read or is using this as an excuse to create distance. Neither is a good sign. Now, let's talk about this relationship. Sis, you said it yourself. This has been an on-again, off-again relationship for 11 years. She italicized that, so she meant it.
I forgot about the 11 years.
Because it was so much. That's why sometimes you do need to hit up CC, ChatGPT. Okay, that's over a decade of push and pull. And the biggest issue, you want marriage. And he wants to do everything but that. You broke up for 6 months over this exact issue, and now you're back, still exhausted, still carrying the emotional labor, and now feeling unsafe with him. That is not the foundation for a lifelong commitment. It's the foundation for another breakup, but with more baggage. So what do you do now? Now she's going to hit you with the bullet points. His actions are speaking louder than his I love you. He read your journal, disappeared for the holidays, and is now acting indifferent. That's not love, that's avoidance. Bullet point 2, you don't feel safe with him, and your gut is rarely wrong. If trust is already shaky and he keeps adding to the list of reasons you can't trust him, where is this going? The Japan trip. Girl, this is tricky. You already paid for the flight. If it were refundable, I'd say cancel and let him figure out his own way to his dream trip. Since it's not, you got 2 choices. If you still want to go, change the name on the ticket if possible, and take a friend, or go solo and live your best life. If you do decide to still go with him, do so with clear boundaries. But ask yourself, do you really want to spend this dream trip with a man you don't trust? Final thoughts? You're not too mature to crash out, but you are too grown to keep waiting for a man who has shown you repeatedly that he is not stepping up. You want marriage, commitment, and security. He wants everything but that. The math ain't mathin', sis. If you don't feel safe, if trust is already broken, and if you are this exhausted before marriage, what you holding on to? At this point, you don't need to win him back. You need to free yourself. And that's on ChatGPT.
That's what we need to start doing. So you can't even, who you gonna be mad at? Elon Musk?
And I totally agree with everything that she said.
I actually do too. And I really did forget about that 11
down.
years. Y'all gonna learn one day. That 2-year mark, I don't care how happy or sad you are, that 2-year mark gonna tell you a lot. And sometimes you got to walk away. Because, bitch, you waited 11 years.
11 years is a long time.
Get up. Stand up.
My niece is 11. God damn.
That's enough to breed a child and make it
She got an
right.
iPad, a phone, and an attitude. Like,
that's wild,
a personality.
sis.
She done got braces, got the braces off.
Mm-hmm. That's a lot of time wasted, but we're not going to tear you down. We going to build you up.
These are just reminders.
Yeah. Continue to write in your journal. Leave him alone, no matter how hard or sad you might feel right now, and just move on, because that really was not it. Like that girl says.
Is the plane ticket transferable maybe instead of, I know it's not non-refundable, but sometimes you can just
change the name.
Call and make up a story.
Yeah, so you never know who.
Did you get trip insurance?
Did you get trip insurance? And then just ask if you can change the name, make it a girl trip, bring somebody else, and call it a day. Don't let that man decenter the man from this. Just decenter it. He fucked up. Don't believe the negative thoughts that you might be thinking. Girl, please move on. Because have you ever seen that girl on Instagram where she's like, you better leave that man alone for God make him your baby daddy? Have you seen it? And
no.
It is so funny because she just pops up on the screen and she's like, you better leave that man alone before God makes him your baby daddy. Do you want a baby daddy like this? No. Like all the girls I know with baby daddies, apparently the baby daddies ain't shit. A lot of them are not shit. And then you got to do everything alone. Girl, this is a blessing in disguise.
Well, good luck, sis. Hopefully you can send us a cocktail that maybe you made in Japan without that man, with somebody else, or if you take another trip. Anyway, that's all the time we have for advice today. So if you have a question, make sure you email it to us at advice@cocktalespod.com. That's advice@CockTalespod.com. And now we'll move on to the cocktails.
Once upon a time, not long ago, I was a
If you have a cocktail you want to share, that email is CockTales, CockTales, @cocktalespod.com. And you know what? I just thought about something. Maybe you should see if you can transfer your ticket from Japan to Jamaica. You could probably get a first class ticket to Jamaica for whatever you paid to get all the way to the other side of the world. Because I'll be in Jamaica Memorial Day weekend with Worst Behavior Tour, and we're going back to hedonism. So maybe you can come there, and you can definitely release. There will be plenty of people there, plenty of guys,
and a buffet.
It's a holiday.
If you want to release it, just eating. There's also a buffet.
Buffet, a beach. There's all sorts of things to do, and you won't see that man there because he might be stuck in Japan. Oh no, he's not going to be there.
She about to fly. And if you can't switch your flight to Jamaica and you can only switch the name, put it in my name. Bitch, I'll go with you to Japan. That's on my bucket list. I will go with you. Come on.
Let us know what you decide to do, sis. Good luck. Okay, now for the cocktails.
There's only one, but you can read it since I read the advice.
Okay.
Oh,
so,
it's long. If you want me to tag in at any moment, just let me know.
Okay, I might. All right. So, and my phone, not my phone, my iPad was like, girl, this is long, and it just shut off. Okay. TDLR, what does that mean?
I was gonna ask you today. What does TDLR mean, y'all?
Nobody know. ChatGPT. Let me just go ask it.
Too damn long.
Too damn long to read. What does TDLR
Time to. Let me just stop.
Let's see what CC's. Too long didn't read.
Oh, they didn't read?
This shit long as fuck, so I get it if y'all can't read it on the show, but I had to tell somebody this story's so embarrassing. It was either write y'all or take this to my grave. Hope y'all get a laugh. Well, thank you for putting that in the beginning, because I don't mind reading a long one if there's something funny at the end. Okay. She says, love y'all, blah, 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 besties, let me get into it. Also, y'all my younger little sisters, LOL, because the young ones love saying y'all are older.
Thank you, girl.
Thank you. I'm 38. Let me tell y'all how I accidentally helped a man come out of the closet. I met this man when he was fine, y'all. 6'5", chocolate, and just plain handsome. We met online, so I'm low-key like, I'm being catfished, or now the first red flag, which I completely ignored because like Kiki be saying pretty privilege is real, and sadly the fine niggas be getting away with shit with me too. This nigga is impoverished. Damn. Not broke, but like he invited me to his house, using the word house real loosely, which we both live in North Carolina, but it was like 3 hours away. It was supposed to be a weekend trip, but we'll get to what happened in a second. First, let me set the scene. I'm a dog mom, so I'm like, can I bring my dog? He was like, yeah. I was like, cool. When I arrived, it was late, maybe like 9-ish, but even in the pitch black of rural North Carolina with basically no artificial light, I knew I had fucked up. Not only was it a trailer, but the yard looked like some bullshit. No, sorry, not bullshit, hillbilly shit. Y'all, it was cars in the yard, at least like 6 of them in various states of disrepair. Some taken apart and not put back together. Trash everywhere. A bird bath full of tools, a random dog cage tipped on its side, various small engine things like Girl, what? Like riding lawnmowers, dirt bikes, y'all, just like a bunch of shit. I'm picturing like a junkyard as she's describing this. So I pull up and he comes out and he's finer than his pictures. My pussy instantly got wet. I legit forgot I was in a movie kidnap scene and followed him inside. My little dog in tow. We get inside and the inside was worse than the outside. If I couldn't be anonymous, I wouldn't even tell this story because it is so embarrassing. It had to be like a 40-year-old trailer. It was basically like they ghetto rigged something every time something broke, and they literally were using a fireplace for heat. The only bathroom was completely rusted out. I found this out when I said I had to go pee, and he told me where the bathroom was, and I went in there, stepped on a soft floor. Thank God my common sense said, don't take off your shoes. I turned right back around and told him I needed to go to the store. My stuff was still in the car, and I insisted on bringing my dog. He wanted to come to the store. While in the car, I told him I was upset that he invited me into this environment. I'm not going back in there. He said he understood and he would get us a room. The room he got was not nice at all. Think Bates Motel. Not the Bates Motel. Oh, Lord. Okay. But at this point, it's like midnight and I'm not trying to die on these North Carolina country roads. So I bring my dog. And we're in this little trap ass motel room. I put my dog in his little pop-up cage, took a shower with my Crocs on, trust no one, especially housekeeping in a place like this, and put on something sexy. As sexy as one can be in this environment, I'm gonna need socks and Crocs. But at this point, I'm like, okay, one night stand, because clearly I can't live this life. I had him take a shower. He was fine, but there was no way he was going inside of me after coming out of that place. I was tempted to go supervise. But to be honest, he smelled good. And when we hugged outside of his house, but still, I'm thinking in my head, I'm finna get digged down and walk away because this is not even broke nigga activities. This is poverty. And I grew up in the trenches and I'm not going back. Now on to the cocktail. I just felt like y'all needed the context. Thank you. Because I enjoyed you setting the scene. So, and then it locked. Okay. So, not to toot my own horn, but I know I'm good at sucking dick because I literally have no gag reflex. I'm bringing out all the tricks, the slurping sounds, the works, and he's just semi-hard. So I'm like, what's wrong? After a little coaxing, he tells me he wants me to go eat his ass. I hear Kiki's voice in my head saying, just go for it. So I go for it. I oblige.
The impoverished man? Okay.
Yeah, she said he was fine, and you know
It
how
smelled
that
good, but y'all in the Bates Motel. Okay.
how that pretty privilege goes. Okay. He's into it. He's moaning. I'm getting it super wet. He guides my hand to his booty hole in my Medinah voice and slides a finger in. With his guidance, it quickly escalates to 4 fingers in. And he's basically riding my hand, and then he comes. I was confused. I'm a blunt person, so I asked him, what the fuck was that? I said it felt like he didn't like pussy. Long story short, he admitted to survival homosexual sex work and said he wasn't gay and only did it for money. He said he saw a real future with me. I was shook. I had to break it to him that based on my experience with him, it seems like that's what he prefers. That led to an all-nighter of tears and revelations about how he likes to be fucked by men but wants to be in a relationship with me and wants me to play with his booty hole. Needless to say, that was a no for me. I waited for the sun to come up and then I drove back 3 hours on no sleep with my dog, completely unsatisfied. Moral of the story, I need to stop with the pretty privilege because I should have booked myself a room at a real hotel and got some sleep before driving back. From now on, I'll take my niggas with a dash of ugly. The end. Sometimes life really ain't fair. Sent from my iPhone.
I wonder
what
the
an
pretty privilege
adventurous night.
But I still wonder what the pretty privilege of him had to do with her not just getting a hotel still and getting some rest before the drive back.
Because she just felt like he was so fine, so she just wanted to stay up and talk with him. She couldn't really decline, I guess, is what she's saying.
Well, thanks for
I'm glad
sending
you made it.
sis.
I'm glad you made it back home to send us this email.
That was rough.
That was a wild story. Sorry for your cocktail. Hopefully, next time you write us, you can send a cocktail.
Yeah, girl, we're sending you cocktail vibes.
And if y'all want to send in your cocktails or cocktails, the email is cocktails@cocktailspod.com. Make sure you're following us on Instagram at Cocktails Podcast. I'm at Kiki Said So.
I'm at Coffee Bean D.
And until next week, you guys, goodbye.
Goodbye. Bye. 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 Bye.
Population.
Goodbye. Bye. Bye. Sweet on the dry. Bye. Bye. Bye.